Yes, hello and good afternoon. Welcome to Real Red Stock and welcome to the Head to Head. I am joined today by my brother, Mr. Sam McCabe. How are you, Sam?
I'm good, mate. How are you? How's it going in this nice? It's actually nice weather now, so it's quite good, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's cooled down a bit in the UK. For anyone who doesn't live in the UK, it's been about 37, 36 degrees the past few days, and it's been absolutely minging. But yeah, cooled down today, so in much better spirits. Today's head-to-head is Ronaldo versus Martial, and some of you might be thinking, well, that's stupid. Obviously, it's Ronaldo, whatever, blah, blah, blah. What we've done basically is compared Martial's best season at Manchester United compared to Ronaldo last season, who, of course, had a great season as well. And the kind of stats we'll be focusing on will be goals, assists, shots per game, successful dribbles, scoring frequency, along with some other stats as well. So before we dive into this tasty head-to-head, make sure you drop a like on the video and smash that subscribe button. We are, I think, 17 away from 250, so if you can help us achieve that goal, that would be really appreciated. And yeah, let's dive straight into it. So, Sam, obviously the two players we're comparing today are strikers. What do you look for if you're a scout, let's say, what do you look for in a striker? What are the kind of traits you would want?
Well, you got number one thing in a striker is goal scoring, isn't it? That's it. Your ability. Number one, they have to score goals. I don't want this Liverpool bullshit where it's like Firmino's a defensive striker. Sod off. Like I don't want that stuff. They've got to be a goal scorer. Number one. That's your number
Yeah.
one thing. Next thing is that you kind of want a finishing ability. Like I've seen a lot of people who play striking in the striker position and they're not able to finish. Like Timo Werner comes to mind. The amount of chances he has and he can't finish. Is nothing more than a striker who gets multiple chances and doesn't finish. Diego Forlan for Manchester United comes to mind. He was a frustrating player for me.
Yeah.
So many times, just like unbelievably frustrating. Yeah, and then the second thing, I think speed is useful, but there are strikers who get away with not being fast. There's been some successful strikers who are not quick, so it's not necessarily a thing, but it's something I like to see. And then touch, ability on the ball, touch, because that's all about is a striker to get a chance. Your first touch has to be impeccable, or you have to be able to control the ball well and be good on the ball. Because I think one of the best examples I've ever seen for Manchester United with the first touch was Dimitar Berbatov.
Oh,
One of the best first touches I've ever seen, ever. It was absolutely phenomenal. So, yeah, I think first touch or ability to sort of control and keep on the ball well, I think that's another one. But yeah, for me, they're the sort of standout factors, I think, when I look at a striker.
and I'm glad you mentioned Berbatov there as well, because that actual period with our strikers, we had four great strikers. Obviously, we had Tevez, Ronaldo, Rooney, and Berbatov all playing in attacking areas, who were just absolutely all phenomenal in their own rights. But Berbatov, he was considered a little bit lazy, but the way his first touch was, his finishing, he got Golden Boot, I think, one of the years. For us, you've had Wayne Rooney, who drops deep a little bit more, likes to play as a 10, get more involved in the game. But equally, when he was played as a number 9 for us, that he had one of his best seasons. And then obviously when Ronaldo transitioned from wing to striker, he was a different player, like a complete poacher. So you can have all different kind of strikers. And the thing you mentioned about the pace as well, Harry Kane is one of the best strikers in the world, and he isn't fast by any stretch of the imagination. It's all about movement, football intelligence, good on both feet, all that kind of stuff, and that's what the kind of stuff we're going to be looking at today. Usually on these head-to-heads, we give a player profile. Obviously, I know they're both Manchester United players, but there might be some fans on here who aren't necessarily United fans. So I am going to give a profile on Cristiano Ronaldo, and then Sam will give you his on Anthony Martial. So, Ronaldo, 37 years old, right-footed striker, has broken records everywhere he's been, won countless trophies, and is absolute legend of the club, as we all know. One of the greatest players to ever grace us. Strengths include aerial ability, poaching. Obviously, he's a clutch player, deadly finishing, and his consistency throughout from when he came to United at 18 onwards, it's just been absolutely stunning. And he's certainly my greatest of all time. He's what a player. Weaknesses, as we know, not listen, Ronaldo and Messi are almost perfect, but they do have the weaknesses. I think Ronaldo can definitely be selfish at times. I don't know if you would agree with that, Sam.
I think
Also,
all strikers are to a certain extent,
yeah,
aren't they?
you want him to be selfish, but it all depends on the system. And again, this is where Martial comes in as well. It depends what system you're playing. Obviously, you want him to score goals, but if it's having an effect on the whole team, the way they're playing, not the goals, obviously, but the way that they're playing as a striker, I think then you can look at it. So yeah, he's definitely selfish. Some people might want that in a striker, some people might not. And his free kicks as well. I don't know why he continues to take them. This is just my personal thing on that would be a weakness for him.
It's an ego thing, isn't it? Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like he stands over it, gives the arms out. And don't get me wrong, back in the day, if you remember the one against Portsmouth, the one against Arsenal in the Champions League, which was like 40 yards out, he could bag him. But I haven't seen, apart from, was it the Norwich game or Tottenham where he scored it? Was it
Tottenham,
Norwich who scored a free kick?
Was it Norwich?
But one of them he scored a free kick for, but let's be honest, it's one in like every 67,
it's like
70 or whatever.
Roberto Carlos, isn't it? Like Roberto Carlos, everybody got excited when he lined one up, but didn't go in all that often, did it?
But yeah, it's Cristiano Ronaldo, so there's not many weaknesses. He is an absolute god when it comes to football, and they're the only ones I could think of. Do you want to give us a quick profile for Anthony Martial, Sam?
Yeah, Anthony Martial, obviously from France, was transferred to Monaco from Lyon in the youth setup for 6 million. Member of Monaco for 2 seasons. Signed for Man United in 2015 for initial fee of 36 million, but potentially rises to 57.6. Obviously, that was the famous Ballon d'Or clause that if you want a Ballon d'Or, they'd have to pay. It's not looking great now, is it? Obviously, the famous Manchester United chant, 50 million down the drain.
It could come back. It could come back. Who knows?
He's a right-footed striker. He's 181 centimeters, so he's not the tallest striker in the world, but he's not short either.
About 6 foot, is that?
Just under 6 foot, yeah. 182 centimeters, I think, is 6 foot, so just under 6 foot.
Yeah.
Mainly plays in the striker position, but can also play out on the left wing. And I think has he played right as well at some point?
He's played all over.
Yeah, so he can play across the front line, but I think his preferred position is the number 9 position. Known for a great touch, great hold-up play. His finishing is sublime when he's on it, when he's like dialed in. He's one of the best finishers in the game. And yeah, just that partnership that we'll delve into later because the season we're focusing on for Anthony Martial. He developed with Marcus Rashford in the 19-20 season. Was probably his best season he's had for Manchester United, and that was the glimpse of the player that everybody was talking about, saying he's going to win a Ballon d'Or. So, yeah, that's the sort of basic little overview of Anthony Martial. Obviously, didn't work out well last season for Manchester United. Didn't play well for them. Didn't really get much game time either because of obviously Ronaldo's arrival. Went on loan to Sevilla, did not go well at all. Like really bad loan for him.
Understatement.
Sevilla fans were booing him. It just wasn't a great time for Anthony Martial. So yeah, that's the sort of basic overview of Anthony Martial.
Yeah, and if we all remember, cast our minds back to that 19-20 season, we always talk about it on the show. You had obviously an idiot who's I think whatever now with Mason Greenwood. You had Greenwood, Rashford, and Martial as a front three. You had 56 goals and like 20 odd assists between them. There was only second behind Salah, Firmino, and Mane in Europe in terms of goals and assists as a collective. So that looked really promising. We thought obviously that was going to be our front three for the next kind of 5 to 6 years. Didn't work out like that, but look, maybe Martial and Rashford are making a bit of a comeback now. Martial more so in pre-season, looking really promising. Suits the system a lot, and again, we're going to dive into that a little bit later on. So if you're ready, Sam, do you want to jump into the stats?
Yeah, am I starting?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'll give the appearances first.
Okay.
And then you give me Martial. So Cristiano Ronaldo last season, remember, he had 30 appearances and started 27.
So this was obviously we're focused on 2019-2020 season for Anthony Martial because there's no point comparing last season because it was terrible.
4 games.
It was awful. So yeah, 2019-2020. Remember that. So he played 32 games and he started 31 of them. So he didn't. He only didn't start 1 game.
Okay. Again, shows consistent set. Rarely injured as well. That's another thing with Martial. A lot of people don't mention. He's rarely injured, similar to obviously Ronaldo. He has his odd hip flexor in a minute, but rarely injured. Goals and assists for Ronaldo, 18 goals and 3 assists. Third top goal scorer at the age of 37. Pretty fucking impressive.
Ridiculous. Anthony Martial, 17 goals and 6 assists. So he's beaten in the assists chart, but he's just 1 goal behind in the sort of goal scoring chart. So not bad.
It's important to mention as well. Obviously, last season was fucking diabolical. We had, the team was just absolutely terrible. So the fact Ronaldo scored 18 goals in that is obviously incredible. I'm not taking that away. Let's do shots per game and shots on target per game as well. So for Ronaldo, quite high, 3.7 per game, and shots on target, he's got 1.4. So who has the overall better accuracy, Sam?
Yeah, shots per game for Anthony Martial, 2.5. So he's a little lower than Ronaldo. Shots on target per game is 1.2. So I think Ronaldo's got him beat in there. But yeah, it's still not bad for Martial. Again, Ronaldo again is like more of a goal scoring poacher nowadays. Like that's his kind of thing. Anthony Martial likes to cut in and do quite, let's be honest, fancy shots, doesn't he? He likes to sort of proper bend one in the top corner, doesn't he? So
yeah. And you got to think as well that season, as I just said, then you had Rashford and Greenwood who were bagging a lot of goals as well. So that would naturally kind of take away from the amount of end products that Martial's putting out. So Ronaldo was just basically our only goal scorer last season, and Bruno, let's say, throw it in there. Scoring frequency. So Ronaldo had a goal every 137 minutes. Very good record, and again highlights his consistency, Sam.
Yeah, for Anthony Martial, he was, what was it? 156 minutes.
So they are very close. Obviously, Ronaldo's is slightly better in the few departments we've discussed, but it's not far away at all. I don't think. It's not
like it's
not worlds apart,
is it? Something, is it? So
yeah, exactly. This one, very interesting one. We've got big chances missed. So Ronaldo's got 13, and I bet 50% of them was probably that Watford game, if you remember that. Like. He missed so many chances in that December and January period. It was a joke.
Yeah, so big chances missed for Anthony Martial was 10.
Very similar again. Double figures for both. I think that's probably natural. The amount of goals and the amount of shots we're having per game is probably about natural. Like you can't expect him to have no big chances missed. You know what I mean?
I think if you look at, say, you looked at somebody like Harry Kane, I don't know his stats off the top of my head, but I think he misses a lot of chances. Like he has a lot of chances, but again, he scores goals. Yeah. But I think because he gets a lot of opportunities, a lot of chances. So I think if you looked at his stats, he'd probably be quite high in chances missed. But in the end, he gets so many goals created for him by like Son, Kulusevski last season and stuff like that. So I think his stats would be quite high in chances missed, but he ends up scoring anyway. So it evens out really.
And it's the same thing with Man City. We've seen the amount of chances they create, the amount of shots they have per game, touches in the opposition box. It's the highest in the league. So yeah, let's move on to offsides. Now, this is one of them. It's a measurement of the movement and timing, but you can't look too much into it because it could just be the fact that we've got Fred passing the ball, or we've got McTominay passing the ball, so they could equally fuck it up just as much. So we can't look into it too much, but I just thought it'd be interesting. Offsides, Ronaldo has 1.1.
Yeah, I was expecting Ronaldo to be quite high because of the way he plays. Yeah. He plays on the edge, doesn't he, on the line. So Anthony Martial is quite low. He's only 0.4. But again, that's Anthony Martial style. He doesn't play high up.
Drops.
He likes drop back. He likes to link play, like we've said, and he'll cut in, get the ball, and he'll run at players, dribble. Like that's the kind of player he is. He's not a Ronaldo where he's on the line and he's waiting for that ball through or the ball over the top. So it's very different sort of style.
I remember doing the scout report, Sam, for when I was looking at, I think it was like Rashford versus Gakpo, I think it is, in the Eredivisie, a winger. And his offsides was something like 2.4. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like, remember last season how many times
he was offside every single time. Every single time I saw him, I was like, just for God's sake, stay onside. Like somebody get this boy's head and just train him and be like, you need to stay onside. Because
exactly. I think he's top 3 with last season Jamie Vardy and Sadio Mane for the most offsides, which obviously they're all speedful players.
I mean, Jamie Vardy, that's his entire game, isn't it? Waiting on the offside trap, step back in, ball over the top. It's a goal. That's how Leicester won the league.
The more you try that, the more the percentage is going to go up. Passing accuracy. Now, the reason why I brought this in is because we were talking about style of strikers. And Ronaldo, obviously, is less of a passer, you would say. Like you say, Martial links up play a lot more.
He's not an assist merchant, is he, Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Like...
I did think, well, it shows, doesn't it? He got, 3 assists, was it, last season in the Prem? To be fair, I thought Ronaldo's would be worse, but it's actually not bad. He's got 24.0 and it's 82%.
82%. For passes for Martial, where are we? Sorry, I'm just accurate per game, 81%.
All the same.
Yeah.
Very much the same. But then what was the how many per game? Because
so
then that
17.9.
Okay. That's interesting. I thought Martial's would be higher, to be honest. I really did. Especially he's more of like a short range passer in close quarters. You know, you're doing like interchangement and stuff.
I think if he was playing where Rashford played, because I know he's played on the left previously, maybe his stats would be a little different. But I think when he was playing as a central striker, he was often the last pass, wasn't he? Like I know he did a lot of link-up play, but he's often the last pass, and his next touch is a shot. So maybe that's.
And we also had Ronaldo dropping a lot of the time, didn't we? Like when we didn't want him, if a player he goes to like a left back spot,
went looking for the ball, didn't he? Went looking for the ball, didn't he?
A bit too much, in my opinion. A bit too much. Key passes per game. So for Cristiano Ronaldo, 0.9. Again, I feel like naturally Ronaldo was more of a selfish player. I didn't think his contribution in this department would be massive. If you look at someone like Karim Benzema, because I checked his stats before, he's doubling that figure for Real Madrid. What's Anthony Martial got?
He's got 1 key pass per game.
Yeah, so it's more than only by 0.1, but it is more than Ronaldo. Touches per game. This one, again, another interesting one because I want to see how involved both are. 41.2. Sounds about right, I thought, when I first saw it. Sometimes, he gets frustrated, as I just mentioned, goes back for the ball more than we actually want. And you can see why he does it at times because some of the players weren't putting in a shift last season. So maybe he was involved more than he should be. But yeah, 41.2 for Ronaldo, Sam.
Yeah, so for Anthony Martial, sorry, I've just lost where I'm at. What were we looking at?
We was looking at touches per game.
Touches
so
per game.
41.2.
37.2. So again, I think,
involved.
but again, Martial's, he does link up play quite well, but I think when he's in the box or he's like near goal, it's often 1-2 touches and it's out of his feet and it's being shot, isn't it? So I think you take that. I think that sort of touches a little less. He's able to move the ball forward and do more with less touches. I think that's how he likes to play.
And Ronaldo's good in the air, to be fair, so he can be used as a target man at times. So that brings the involvement up a little bit more. Successful dribbles. Now, Ronaldo, there was a period last season where it was annoying me a little bit. He was trying to be like the old Ronaldo, wasn't beating many players. But then he kind of improved on it and he was doing decent. He's got 0.7, 63%, which did surprise me, to be fair. But yeah, I feel like Martial's would have been more prior to actually seeing that stat. But now after seeing that, I'm not sure.
Sorry, I was having some technical stuff. What was the stat we're looking at?
No, successful dribbles.
Successful dribbles.
This is the last one we're looking at.
It's on... There we go. It's 1.6, 52%.
1.6, 52%.
1.
He's actually got more, but less percentage, I think.
Yeah,
less percentage.
So it seems like he attempts more,
definitely,
which will probably then drag his success rate down because the more you attempt it, the success rate is going to go down.
Yeah. So that's the stats completed, guys. And just to repeat to you, these are all from the Premier League. It's not other comps like Champions League or anything like that. It is literally just the Premier League. So let us know what you think. The reason we've done this comparison today is because there's a massive question mark over who's going to be our future number 9. Will Ronaldo come back? Martial's starting to perform in pre-season, of course. So we thought we would compare Martial's best season at the club to Ronaldo's last year. By no stretch of the imagination are we saying Martial's a better player, he's on the same level or anything like that. It was just interesting because I think systematically, Sam, it seems like Martial would suit that Ten Hag system better. I'm not sure if you agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's been proved, hasn't it? Like the sort of games that we've played over the last couple of days, like Anthony Martial shone. Like I think Jadon Sancho aside, he's arguably been one of our sort of better players, especially in this Ten Hag system. Obviously, there's been players who've been really, really good. Dalot, Sancho, Zidane, Iqbal, Charlie Savage, those kind of guys. But I think the turnaround that Anthony Martial has done from last season, which, honest to God, everybody was like going out the door, get rid of him, get him sold, we're done, like stuff like that. And to play so well in these games and come back to some sort of form that he was in during this 19-20 season, I hope it continues, and I hope he does as well, if not better, this coming season, because we're going to need it, because it doesn't look like we're buying a striker at this point. I know there's a little bit of a rumour going around that the Anthony deal might be back on with Ajax, but again, he's not a striker, he's a winger, like he plays on the wing, so we still will be short. Whether Ronaldo leaves or not, we're going to be short a striker, I think, because Cavani's gone. Obviously, what's happening with Mason Greenwood could rumble on for God knows how long, and even if it does end, I highly doubt he's getting back in the team. So, it's a weird thing that we're now having to rely on Anthony Martial, and because we're having to rely on him, he's doing well, and he's coping with it quite well. I know it's only pre-season. I know it's only pre-season, but we've had such a shit fucking season. I need something positive to focus on. I need something positive to be excited about, and Anthony Martial is one of those players.
Well, that was the front three that Ole originally wanted to have. He wanted to have Sancho, Martial, and Rashford. They've definitely got good partnerships on the pitch. You could see even with Sancho's goal, that little flick it went from Rashford to Martial, then to, so they're all getting involved. It's not just like, one or two of them. And I think that's a really interesting dynamic, because you've got Jadon Sancho, I think he's only 21, 22 max. Yeah. Rashford's 24, 25, and Martial's like 25. Yeah. So if they really fit in a Ten Hag system, you don't have to worry if they improve, drastically. I'm not saying, again, it's only pre-season, but if they can stay at that level and keep producing and keep working really well together and stay injury-free, that could be for the next 3-4 years. You wouldn't have to worry about that. You just have to worry about the depth in behind him. You throw an Anthony into that mix. You've got Elanga on the rise as well. Players like Ahmad and Palestre. You've got a lot of young talent there, but they're also got a lot of experience as well, like Martial and Rashford. You forget they are 24, 25, but they've been about for ages, man.
Well, Rashford
got his debut under Van Gaal.
He was at 17 when he started?
Well, he got his debut against in the Europa League. Midtjylland, yeah.
He was 17.
He was initially supposed to be, that striker's name? Will something. Can't remember his second name. But yeah, they had so many strikers injured. That's why he got his chance. But yeah, it just shows how much experience they've got. And look, they're 24, 25 now. They've still got years to improve on that, and hopefully they do. But this is the reason why I wanted to deep dive into the passing element and the dribbling, because although Ronaldo is one of the best goal scorers I've ever seen, you look at Liverpool. They play with a false nine. They had Firmino and Mane played as false nine at times. You've got City where Foden can slot in there, Sterling can slot in there. Chelsea never really, they had Lukaku, but they never played with him. They always played Kai Havertz or Mason Mount or whatever. So you never really have a top team in the Premier League with a recognised striker. And there's this kind of thing going about at the minute with Ronaldo, where they're saying he actually hinders the team more than he helps them. Yes, he gets a lot of goals. 18 goals is phenomenal. But in terms of how the whole team perform around him, he hinders that. And Buffon said the same thing at Juventus. But it's down to your own interpretation. But I thought this head-to-head would be really good for that. Looking through them stats that we've just been through, what was kind of the conclusion you drew from it, Sam? Was there any surprises at all?
They're quite similar in terms, there wasn't much difference in most of the stats, like the goals, the assists. Obviously, Martial was a little better with the assists, but I think that's because of the way he plays and the way Ronaldo plays. The goals are very similar. The passing accuracy is quite similar. Nothing was too. I can't remember what head-to-head it was we did, where it was quite a massive difference. It might have been the Pau Torres Timber one. I think that might have been it.
Yeah, Timber was significantly better.
Timber was significantly better. But yeah, it doesn't seem like a massive blowout. Obviously, what Ronaldo has achieved over his career is far outweighs anybody, let alone Anthony Martial. So you've got to take that into consideration. But in terms of pure raw stats, obviously stats don't tell the entire story. There's there's the eye test and how they fit into a team, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it was a lot similar than I thought it was going to be. I thought Ronaldo would probably blow him out of the water, but it's not that different. Obviously, it depends on like the system that you want to play, the coach that you have, all that stuff is dependent on which striker you're going to pick. And at the minute, it's looking like Anthony Martial is the striker that Ten Hag is going to play with, unless he brings somebody in, which I don't think so. I think Ronaldo coming back in this team might upset the balance that we seem to be finding at the minute with the way we play, and I think he would change the way we would have to play if he comes back into the team, which is slightly worrying because the only thing that kept us going last season was Ronaldo's goals, because the rest of the team were awful, and if you're relying on one person for your entire season, it's not going to go well, because Ronaldo had that drought around Christmas time, he wasn't scoring, and nobody else was stepping up. Nobody was stepping up. Nobody was scoring. Yeah. Nobody was taking it by scuffing at any of that stuff. So at the minute, we have a team who's all contributing. Martial scored, Rashford scored, Sancho scored. So we've got a team that's all contributing. Bruno's not scored as much, but he's passing, his assisting is great. Dalot's assists is coming his thing. Yeah. Malacia, like we've got a team that's contributing, which is what we want. Because if say Sancho has an off day, Martial will score, it'll be fine. If Martial has off day, Rashford will score. I think it was Stephen Howson, who was saying, like, it might, like with City, you see the team and you're like, all right, we just need to mark De Bruyne out of the game and then we can win this. It's like, well, what about Rodri? Oh, shit. Okay, you mark him, I'll mark him. And it's like, all right, what about Bernardo Silva? For fuck's sake, like, exactly. You've got all these options. That's what we need in your Man United. Like, because last season it was Mark Ronaldo or Mark Bruno, and you can sort of stuff Man United away. It's not, nothing's creative's going to happen. If we get a bunch of players and they're all ready and raring to go, and you've got to stop so many of them, it's going to be a much better success rate for us, and we're going to win more games, score more goals.
Yeah, and again, remember the fact that, you know, it's Ten Hag emphasises a lot on team game. There was a clip from when he was at Ajax. I can't remember what player it was, and he absolutely grilled him. He was like, "Listen, it's about the team. It's not about yourself. Stop playing for your fucking self." Blah blah blah. And the player was just like startled, like fucking hell. And I think he would be impressed by how the front three are currently doing. And like I keep saying, imagine in 2 months' time when they've actually got some competitive games under the belt, they're actually up to speed, because it's only pre-season. I think it's very interesting. I also think if we would have said 3 months ago, we was even considering this debate with Martial, Ronaldo, who's going to play in the team, you would have called us all absolutely mental. But with Ronaldo wanting to leave, Martial really wanting to play, that obviously opens a potential door for Martial to prove his worth, right? I think we're at least open to that idea. No one's closed off to it. I just think it's crazy how he's gone from how he was last season, how he was at Sevilla, because he was terrible there as well. I watched him for a few games for them. He just didn't look interested in the slightest. And if you can get a very riled up Martial game, talent-wise, he's one of the best in the squad. We've always knew that. It's just application, and if we can get that from him this season, it'd be fantastic. Very interesting times ahead. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. There's
a couple of comments if you want to go through them.
Yeah. Let's get into them. Let's do it.
Ronaldo. This is from Dan. Ronaldo is the best when it comes to playing with the offside line. Very true. We went into that. So, and then Ashley Dallo, he's back again. Love it, mate. Martial has been doing the running the last 3 matches. His movement has been great. Yeah, totally agree with you, mate. Definitely.
Yeah.
Go on.
Is he?
No, that's it.
Okay. So yeah, let us know your comments. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section about Ronaldo and Martial, because it's dividing a lot of opinions at the minute. I've spoke to Adam about it. Adam's obviously said that he would bet he'd just be like, I'm not asking.
All right, let's ask you. If Ronaldo stays, and that's our striking options, Martial and Ronaldo are their pick against Brighton, who are you picking?
Do you know what? It's a weird question to answer, because I don't know how it's. Honestly, I could not guess now. I doubt any United fan could.
No, guess like who you would if you're managing the team. Who are you picking?
I have to see Ronaldo in the system. It's hard. I know you're asking me for a direct answer, but I'd have to see how Ronaldo fit. If he can use Ronaldo how he used Haller at Ajax, like a target man, and you can play off him, maybe Ronaldo. But it depends. If Martial keeps improving, That doesn't give you an answer, does it? It really doesn't give you an answer. I'll just go with Ronaldo for now, and we'll see how Martial kind of gets on. What about yourself?
Yeah, best wishes in health to Sebastian Haller, by the way. Like,
Yeah,
news I
definitely.
saw that, so I hope the best for him. Just before I get into that, another comment from #Dello. Martial plays for Man United, which has the result of making everyone a threat to score, whereas CR7 is in the team. Man United plays for him. I can see what he's saying. I get his point, and that was something I was alluding to before. I get what you're saying, but I think it's a little more complicated than that. For me, I think if Martial continues playing the way he is, and he doesn't drop form and he keeps scoring goals, I don't think you can bench him. You can't pull him out of the team, because one, it might destroy his confidence, and then two, what does that say to Martial? Oh, you worked really hard, you got yourself in shape, because like you were saying, he looks leaner. You got yourself in shape, you're scoring goals, you're playing within the system that I want you to play in, and you're doing it well, but now Ronaldo's available, sit on the bench, mate. It's not a good look to say to him, because that's how Ten Hag is. It's about the team. It's not about the individual.
Exactly.
It's about the team. So I don't think you could do that. Obviously, if Martial then starts the first 4 or 5 games and he's fucking shocking, he's got no excuse then. You're like, look, I gave you your opportunity and you didn't take it. I have Ronaldo here, so he's going to come in and play some games. Your opportunity is you got to work hard in training now to get that position back, and I think that's how it should be.
Do you think Ronaldo would do that though? Do you not remember when he got took off against Brentford, and
nobody wants to buy him though?
You could see him near Ragnick, and he was sat there just like visually fuming and making it about himself. And look, I'm not taking it away from Ronaldo. What he did last season was incredible, but there was certain times where you're like, if you want to make it about the team, Ronaldo doing what he's done a week before we're about to fly out for pre-season. If Martial did that, he'd get pelters, as we said on the show yesterday. So you can't just it's double standards. Like you can't say it for one player and not for another. You have to equal treatment for everyone. And Ronaldo's not above anyone. He's a superstar, but if you want a team game, then you have to treat him the same way. How we would react to that, it would be very interesting, because if the 7th of August comes round, he's still not training with the team, so I doubt he'll even start that game. But if he doesn't get a move by the end of August, I really don't know what you do there. I don't know how you'd handle that situation, because he can make a fuss, and the media would blow it up, absolutely blow it up. And then what do you do as a manager there? Because then that's just going to distract your season throughout the whole thing. So, like, do you completely drop him? Has anyone ever done that with Ronaldo before? Completely dropped him from the squad,
Also, nobody wants him. Nobody's taking it.
It's crazy, isn't it? How does no one want Cristiano Ronaldo?
This is what I'm saying. Like, he has this thing, oh, I want to leave, I want to play Champions League football. Nobody's taking you. Nobody wants to take you. So your option is now, either you're going to sit at home till January if nobody comes in.
Which he won't do.
And then hope for it, or you have to go, right, nobody's going to take me. I'm going to have to work hard to get into this team, and that's what he's going to have to do. And if he expects to walk back into this team, I get what he's done last season, I get it. But if you expect to walk back into this team after announcing that you want to leave halfway through the fucking summer, I think if he would have came out and announced like a week, 2 weeks after the season ended, I think everybody had been like, all right, fair enough, and we've got time now to get a striker in, replace him, all that sort of stuff. But the timing did my head in. That's what done my head in. It's the worst timing possible.
Yeah.
And I think you should show a little more respect for the club you're at. I know United, the way it's run, the Glazers, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I get why he's done it.
I get from his perspective, his personal.
Yeah.
I get why, but for the team, and that's what United has to become. It has to become about the team. Can't no longer be about individuals. It's just it didn't work. You saw when Pogba was involved, when Lingard was involved, players like that. It just toxic dressing room. It's not what we need right now. We need a team. And as much as I hate to say it, Liverpool have got it. They might have fucked it up. Right? They might have fucked it up though. Paying Salah, whatever is it, 450,000?
They've paid him a lot. They brought the wage structure basically.
You might have fucked it now, and then you brought in the Uruguayan Andy Carroll, who's I imagine's on quite a lot of wages as well. I imagine he's on quite a bit. So you might have fucked it now and ruined this team dynamic that you've got, but they were a good example of it.
Excuse me, that's why Mane's gone to Bayern Munich, because his wage has significantly increased. He saw Salah got an increase. He was asking for it. Liverpool a bit and ahhing. He's ended up going to Bayern Munich. This is what happens. You break that wage structure once, look at ours. Ours is the worst in the league.
shocking.
We've got the worst wage structure ever. And obviously Ronaldo's a part of that. I think his wages got cut from 500 grand to 370 because we went out of the Champions League. So that's another thing for him as well. Like I said, I really don't blame him, but it's very interesting. We want to hear your thoughts, guys. Let us know in the comment section, DMs, whatever you want. Have a chat to us about it, because I'm curious to see how many people would lean more towards Martial, the kind of team game, or how many people are still instant on, no, bring Ronaldo back in that fucking team, get him scoring goals, and let's go. I myself, I'm still finding it a little bit sensationalist to say put Martial in the team, forget Ronaldo, blah, 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 because if we can play how we're playing and then add Ronaldo to that and he fits the system, I'm playing Ronaldo all day. But if he comes in still playing the way he is and can't adapt to how Martial is doing with Sancho and Rashford, because I feel like he's got a better relationship, I'm not sure. Because again, it's more about the team for me, 100%. But I have to see the evidence in front of me to know. So it's going to be very interesting.
You got to trust Ten Hag, haven't you? Got to trust Ten Hag. He's going to see him in training if he does come back. That is, he's going to see him in training how he is when he's doing the coaching setups, when he's doing these drills, when he's doing all that sort of stuff. He's going to see and know if he's going to work in the system or not. So we have to trust Ten Hag. So if Ten Hag plays him, we've got to just trust Ten Hag that knows what he's doing and it's going to work. So that's.
I do think it's very risky as well, though, because if you go in with Martial and he starts having, he's not a purple patch, because a purple patch, whatever the opposite of a purple patch is, if he starts having a bad run of form or whatever, then what do you do? Because you'll have an unhappy Ronaldo, and then no one else can really play there apart from Rashford. I think
it's man management, though, isn't it?
I don't like Rashford as a number 9. No. Yeah, you have to trust Ten Hag. He obviously knows what he's doing. He's seeing the intensity in training, how they're all linking up, and we've seen it in pre-season as well. They've looked good, but pre-seasons, I've seen pre-seasons under Van Gaal and Mourinho where we've won every game, and then we've gone into the season and we haven't looked great. So
I've seen pre-seasons under Fergie where we've lost or we've looked shite, and then we've gone on and won a trophy. So
yeah, exactly, Sam. But the Premier League season is approaching very, very soon. What day? 20th of July. So we've got 17 days until the start of the season.
Just over 2 weeks.
Not far away. Yeah, not far away at all. So again, very interesting to see.
One last comment in the chat. Adam Liajic.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Remember the name. This was a player Man United signed under Sir Alex Ferguson. Due to visa issues, he never played for Man United. Interesting. Any news about Lissandro's visa, please? So many days and nothing yet. I believe he's signed. I believe he's done. I believe it's all sorted.
I think it's finished, isn't it? He's officially signed. His visa's been sorted.
I just don't think they've not sent him out on tour because we've got one more game. So by the time he flew out, he'd have to fly back. That's the excuse they've used why he's not. Him and Ericsson are not on tour. So I believe it's all signed, done. So I think you'll probably play. Do we play Oslo and then Old Trafford, or is it Old Trafford then Oslo? There's two friendlies after.
We finish in Perth, don't we? Then I think it's on to Oslo, then Old Trafford. We've got Real Vallecano at Old Trafford on the 31st, I think it is. Yeah,
so maybe he plays in Oslo. Maybe they fly him out there because it's literally like an hour and a half flight. So maybe he plays in there. But I believe it's all done, Hashley. As far as I know, I've not heard anything, but I believe it's all done. And he also said Rashford is not a number 9. Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah, he's not.
We all agree
he's really not. Yeah, I don't want to see him anywhere near that position. Keep on the left and keep him developing there. Unless you've got any final thoughts on Ronaldo, Martial, Sam, I think that's everything. Thank you for tuning in, guys. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch stuff like this. Like I said, we're going to be doing a bit of a giveaway at 250 subs. If we can make it there just before the season starts, that'd be great. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and like the video. Thank you very much, Sam, for joining me. Make sure you guys join us for Eric 10 Bag Career Mode back again. It's a live stream, basically. We drink shitloads of whiskey, do a bit of karaoke, and have a laugh.
Some impressions as well. Some impressions,
exactly.
Accents, various accents. Before we go, follow all our socials: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. The Instagram is run by me mostly. Nick occasionally gets on there. News, graphics, knows about any YouTube shows, stuff like that. TikTok for all your funny clips. Nick runs that. Really cool. There's some really good clips and really funny stuff from all the shows, little outtakes and stuff like that.
Sorry to think. Check out the Lissandro Martinez video that I did as well.
Go watch that.
The Lissandro Martinez edit with stats videos, all that kind of
really
shit.
Really good.
So
go watch that.
In that,
And there's some funny stuff on involving Fabrizio Romano on there as well, so go watch that. The Twitter's run by Dan and Shreyas. They do a lot of news stories on there, so you want the latest up-to-date news by the hour, by the minute sometimes, go check the Twitter out. We're also on Twitch, Real Reds Gaming, so we do less football-related games, so Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, PUBG, all that good stuff. Go check that out. All the links to all these socials are in our bio or below in the description, so click all them, follow all that, get the numbers up. The more we push this, the more people we can do, the more stuff we can do. You can see a template I've got right now. This is a temporary one. You saw the intro video. We're adding stuff every single show, every single week. We're improving every single time, so the more people who watch it, the more we want to do, the more we want to push it.
Expand.
So help us out. So if you're watching or you're watching it on demand, subscribe, like the video, and follow all the socials.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, we've got a game Saturday against Aston Villa, so we'll be doing a watch along for that, so make sure you join us for that. We've got the 10-bag career mode, as I said, tomorrow, and then Friday we'll have a transfer show. Yeah.
And then Sunday I might do some streaming, or somebody might do some streaming on Twitch, so look out for that.
Yeah, something every day for you guys. Perfect. Thank you very much for joining me, Sam. Thank you for watching, guys. We will see you in the next one. Peace.
See ya.